welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy. I hope you're doing really well wherever or whenever in the world that you are. Happy New Year! It's January. It has been a minute since I have sat down to film with you all, so please forgive any beginning of year rust or awkwardness. We're gonna work through it. We're gonna push through. Today we're gonna be talking all about my January TBR, and we're of course gonna play another round of reading roulette. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Andy. I post bookish and reading journal content semi-consistently throughout the year. If you're interested, please consider liking, subscribing, doing all the YouTube things. It really helps me out. For those of you who are new, who might be new and don't know what reading roulette is, it's the TBR game that I play every month to help me pick a few book prompts to guide some of my bookish picks throughout the month. It's sort of a Mad Lib style where I have two wheels. One wheel is genres. The other wheel are kind of miscellaneous prompts, things like physical TBR, red cover, color word in the title, TBR vet, just a mishmash, just a mishmash, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, of different words to, generate a creative prompt so that it doesn't feel the same from month to month. I will say last year when I introduced this game, the genre I got the most often was definitely poetry. So we will see if that continues. And poetry is not a genre that I typically pick up on my own. So we'll see what this year of reading roulette brings. Before we jump into reading roulette though, I do want to talk about a few of my reading plans for January that are previously scheduled, I guess. For the Broads Who book club that I'm in with my mom and my sisters, our next pick, which was my pick, is Air by Saba Tahir. I know that this is the beginning of a series, maybe just a duology, I'm not 100% sure. I truly don't remember anything about the plot or the premise, and I kind of want it to stay that way. I'll of course pop up a picture. And yeah, we're meeting at the very beginning of February, so I have all of January to read this book. I'm very excited. For Buzzwordathon, the Buzzword Reading Challenge, I'm gonna participate, when I feel inspired throughout the year. For January, I'm gonna try to do both the Buzzword and the Buzz cover. Books and Lala, I think that's her YouTube channel name. She's the host and she creates these setups and bingo boards and all that jazz every year. I'll link her channel below if you don't already watch her, which I'm sure you probably do. And so for January, the buzzword is Truth and Lies. And there's a few books that I'm thinking about picking up. I wanted to generate a few options for me so that I can still kind of honor the mood reader that I am deep in my soul. So here are the few that could apply. Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I think this is a very classic, fantasy romance. She's a witch, the chosen one, that kind of a trope. We'll see. This was on my radar 4 or 5 years ago and I never picked it up, so we'll see. The other one that I might pick up is Garden of Lies by Amanda Quick. This is a historical romance. Could be interesting. A nonfiction that I could potentially pick up. This book is also on my 25 books I want to read in 2025. So this could be ooh, great, we're killing two birds with one stone. Is Ghetto Side, A True Story of Murder in America by Jill Leovy. I could pick that up because, true, similar to truth. Or Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I have not read a Frida McFadden, and so this could be a good introduction into the world of Frida. A lot of my friends at work are obsessed and love and read a lot of her books, or a lot of their books, and so maybe I'll give it a try. The cover, the buzzword cover for January, is a pattern on the cover, and there's a few that I think fit this prompt. You'll have to let me know if you feel differently, but one that I could pick up is A Touch of Chaos. This is by Scarlett St. Clair. I think it's the 4th book in the Hades Persephone series. Now, I read the first 3 books in this series maybe a year or 2 ago, so I may need to do a quick Wikipedia search to remind myself of the plot and the premise, but I remember really liking it. And the cover has a pattern, kind of. There's repetition going on the cover. I could also read In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. A friend of mine at work read this and really liked it. And again, it's sort of giving that loose pattern feel. And then I could also read Parable of the Brown Girl. This is on my physical TBR. It's by Christy Lauren Adams. She came to speak at my work a few years ago and we all got this book, and I never got to reading it. And so I think the cover sort of fits this pattern vibe. It would also be a physical TBR, like down to 0 kind of thing. And I've been meaning to read it for quite some time. So those are all my options for like the buzzword stuff. I'm also a huge historical romance reader. It's one of my favorite romance like subgenres. And the Book Refuge and a few other creators are hosting a historical romance readathon in January called The Rake Meets the Blue Stocking. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I think it's gonna be really fun. They've created a couple of bingo board options with different prompts for us to follow along, but there's also a choose your own bingo board. It's left blank. I think I'm gonna do that and kind of combine their bingo prompts from boards 1 and 2, just like pick and choose a few to put onto mine, in addition to adding like a few of like new ones that I might want to do. Some of their prompts include fairy tale, myth, or retelling, a marriage of convenience trope set outside the US or UK. There's different like timelines. You could read like a Regency romance, a Victorian romance, whatever comes before that romance, LGBTQ, IA representation, a BIPOC author, like there's a whole bunch. So I'm definitely gonna participate in that readathon. I've already got a bit of like a general queue lined up. I've screenshotted lots of books. Maybe I'll do a reading vlog for that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what mood strikes for my filming in January. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. So yeah, those are my like planned January reading plans. I'm gonna do our book club, which I obviously like must read, I will read. I'd like to do the buzzword and the buzz cover, and then I want to do the historical romance readathon. So even though that's already like more than enough reading plans for 1 month, I want to play reading roulette. So let's jump into that. I'm gonna get my screen recording all queued up. All right, let's see what we get for spin number 1. Oh, I need something to write with so that I don't forget my spins. Let's see, do I have a sticky note somewhere? Yes. Okay, great. I'm ready to write my spins down. Okay. Here we go. I'm a little rusty. I haven't done one of these in a few months. Okay, record. All right, so we're gonna see what genre do we get first. I'm really feeling flexible. Like whatever comes up is good. But we love to see, oh, I gotta turn up the volume. Okay, great. Fantasy romance. That's a great one to start with, Andy. I love that for me. Let me know if you're gonna play along and if you choose some or all of the same reading roulette prompts. Let me know if you're gonna participate, like what books you might pick up for them. Okay, now we're gonna read a fantasy romance, but what kind of fantasy romance? That's the fun of the game. Record. Here we go. Okay, this wheel will sometimes get me. Ooh, drop my pencils. Okay, something on my physical TBR. Oh no. See, sometimes what happens is if I get a reading roulette pick that like does not exist, I have to add an additional spin. I don't think I have any fantasy romance on my physical TBR. Typically speaking, I don't buy a ton of physical books that I haven't already read. Occasionally, like if I'm out shopping with my sister or a friend and I really like a cover, I've heard about a book, I'll purchase it for my shelf. But like with fantasy romance, usually they're on my shelf because I've already read them and I love them. So let's see. I'm just looking through my reading notebook. Okay. I could read fantasy romance. Is Wolfsong fantasy romance? Let's check. Okay, I think that it is. My sister's boyfriend got me Wolfsong for Christmas. He got me a very pretty edition from Barnes & Noble's. Let me show you. It's the like one with the sprayed edges. It looks so pretty. So yeah, I guess I'll read this. I'll read Wolf Song. He'll be very happy. I also got him a book for Christmas and he's already started that book. So like I also need to be a good Christmas gift receiver and start this book. So great. This is what I'll probably definitely read for my first reading roulette pick. And hooray, I don't have to do a like punishment extra spin. Punishment in the sense that it's just like adding more pressure to my reading plans in January, not because it's like actually punishment. I love to read. Pick number 2. Let's see what we're gonna get. I would love another romance just because that's a nice like way to ease into the year. And if it's historical romance, it would also like go with, oh dear. Actually, okay. Again, if you're new, I created a category on the wheel called the lost prompts, and all of the reading roulette prompts that I don't get to in a given month go into this like bucket of forgotten prompts. And so I can choose whatever book that I want, but that like prompt combo stays the same. And actually from December, one of the ones that I spun was a historical romance TBR vet, I think. Let's double check. Historical romance TBR vet. And so I was originally gonna read An Extraordinary Union by Alyssa Cole, and I didn't get to it in December, mostly because when I decided to do historical romance readathon, the rake meets the blue stocking, I was like, oh, this might be perfect. And so I think that's what we're gonna do. Amazing. That is so fortuitous. Okay, great. On to the next sticky note and on to the next spin. Third spin. Well, I'm pretty happy. I've got 2 romances on this TBR. So really, whatever the reading roulette gods will be fine. Oh, my Lanta. This feels like all of the karma I accumulated last year for not doing my reading roulette prompts. Okay, let's see. I should create like another wheel for this, but I'm not going to. Here are my current lost prompts. A fan fiction that features animals in some way. Because I skipped it twice, I have 2 fantasy TBR veterans. I've got a retelling of some kind on my Kindle TBR. I've got a TikTok trendy book, historical romance TBR vet, historical fiction with a color word in the title, and then a holiday classic. Well, I'm already gonna do historical romance TBR vet, so I'm not gonna do that again, obviously. Let's do historical fiction. Lost prompt. In December, I was thinking about picking up The Color Purple because I also wanted to watch the movie and or somehow watch the Broadway musical play. So I would still like to do that. So maybe I'll make like a January weekend out of it. Sure, why not? Okay, great. Wow, this has been the easiest reading roulette game I've had in a while. Like I knock on wood, I haven't had to do any research. Cool. Okay, great. Now our 4th spin, let's see. Gosh, it's really warm in here. I'm worried about our planet. It's too warm to be January. Alrighty, okay. Science fiction. Great. Done. Okay, what kind of sci-fi? I really don't read a lot of sci-fi. So, whoa. I'm in the wrong, sorry, it's in the wrong tab. Yeah, like I was saying, I don't read a lot of science fiction. So really like whatever comes up will make it work, I guess. Oh no. I totally jinxed myself. Okay. So I need to find a science fiction with either a character named Andy, the author's named Andy, Andy is in the title. I'm gonna spare you guys the probably 30 minutes I'll spend researching, and I'm just gonna pop up on screen. No, because like what if I don't find a book and I have to do a punishment spin? Maybe I just take the L. Let's do a quick Google search. Science fiction books with Andy characters. Let's start there. Is there an obvious one? Oh my God. I know it's spelled differently, but I think it's gonna have to count. Okay, another one of my 25 books I wanna read in 2025 is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. It's spelled differently, but we're gonna count it because hooray. Wow. Okay, great. I love that for me. I also might buddy read that with one of my sisters, so that's also a win. Okay, for our 5th and final spin, let's hit record. I wonder. Amazing, sure. Okay. These are really working out in my favor. Another one of my reading goals was to read 6 nonfiction this year in 2025. So amazing, that'll help me out. What kind of nonfiction? With nonfiction, I'm pretty flexible with this. It can be an informational text, it can be a memoir, it could be a poetry collection that's, you know, an author talking about their life. Yeah, pretty flexible. Okay, great. What kind of nonfiction? Let's see. Is there such a thing as a sequel to a nonfiction series? Okay. Does that mean I have to read the first one too? Hold please. Oh man, guys, I'm striking out a little bit. I don't really know if this is a thing that exists. I'm like on a couple of Goodreads lists, but they're not really giving me what I need. Okay, dang it. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna respin the miscellaneous wheel, and then we're gonna do a 6th spin. Because I don't know, and I don't want to sit here all day. We got things to do. Okay, so take 2 on a nonfiction book. What if we get the same thing? Oh my God. Okay. Feeling, word title. You know what? Last year, I got this exact combo, and it's how I discovered one of my favorite memoirs from last year called Crazy Brave by Joy Harjo. It was amazing. So cool. I think I'll link that TBR reading roulette game above so you can see like the other books that I was thinking about or considering. There were a few, so that's fine. Okay, here we go for our 6th punishment roll spin. Okay, please be something that exists so that I don't have to keep rolling for forever. Great. Okay, romance. I love that. Thank you, reading roulette. For this, I feel pretty confident that like it will exist. So let's see. What, as my 6th pick, what romance are we gonna read? Okay, with a long title. Now, of course, I'm gonna use my subjective judgment on like what does long mean. I think I'm imagining 5 or more words. So let's do a quick Goodreads. What's on my Goodreads list? Do any of those fit? Okay, one that I could read is Hani and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating. That's got a lot of words in it. I think that's like a YA. A YA? What is it? A YA? Is it a YA sapphic romance maybe? Yeah, I think so. Cute, could read that. I've also had that on my TBR for several years. I could also read Savvy Sheldon Feels Good as Hell by Taj McCoy. I've also wanted to read that for a long time, and that's quite a few words. I could also read The Gay Girl's Guide to Ruining Prom by Sierra Mailey. That was a recommendation from my sister from a few years ago. I wanted to read that, so that could be a good one. I could read The Secret Service of Tea and Treason by India Holton. This might also like help me with my historical romance readathon. Although, is it fantasy romance or historical romance? Maybe it's got some like magical realism in it. I can't quite remember. Are there any others that would fit for this? I could read A Love Song for Ricky Wilde. That's also my 25 books I want to read in 2025. Okay, that's a good list. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll read more than one of those because I want to read a lot of those books that I just listed. So there we go. That's Reading Roulette. I'll quickly go through all 6 of our picks and either hold up or put up a cover of the book/books that I'm thinking of reading. If there's multiple books up, I'll star the book that I think I'm gonna read. We'll have to see. You'll have to stick around for my January wrap up to see what we pick. Spin number 1 was a fantasy romance on my physical TBR. For that, we're gonna read Wolf Song by TJ Klune, a very beautiful edition. I also think I just got the audio from Libby, so great. I'll do like the immersive reading for that. Our second spin was a lost prompt, and I picked a historical romance that's a TBR veteran. I'll probably read An Extraordinary Union by Alyssa Cole, but we'll see. My third spin was another lost prompt, and for this, I'm gonna go for historical fiction with a color word in the title. Again, I'll probably read The Color Purple, but we'll see. For my fifth spin, I picked a science fiction with Andy in the character name, title, author name, etc. For this, I'm definitely gonna pick up Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I'm really excited. I've been really wanting to read this, so that'll be great. My fifth pick, okay, sorry if my angle changed. I had an eyelash in my eye. It was distracting me. Okay, where was I? Okay, originally we were doing a nonfiction sequel, but like, what does that even mean? And then, so we did a little respin on the miscellaneous wheel, and we got a nonfiction with a feeling word in the title, which is great because I've already curated a list. Here are a few of the options. I'll star the one that is calling to me the most at this point in time. And then our sixth and final spin is a romance with a long title. Again, here are the books that I was thinking about as I was kind of perusing my Goodreads want to read list. And I'll put a star next to the one that is speaking to me, that is itching to be read in January. All right, guys, that's it. That's our January TBR, our January reading plans. I'll make sure probably on my Instagram to post my bingo board that I'll be using for the, oh my gosh, what's it called? I wrote it down for the rake. What is it called? The rake meets the blue stocking historical romance readathon. I'll definitely post that on Instagram. Let me know if you're gonna participate, which bingo board you're gonna do, or what prompts you're really excited to pick books for. I'm excited to do the buzzword stuff. I'm excited to read our book club book. And as always, I'm curious to see which of my Reading Roulette picks I actually pick up and read in the month of January. Only time will tell. I hope you all, again, are having a wonderful new year. I'm sending you all the best energy as we bring in 2025. I hope your January reading goes well. And yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to stick around. If you made it to the end here, go ahead and leave like a star or like a star bright emoji, because that feels like new and energizing and also kind of wintry, you know? I don't know. Or just leave any emoji. Truly, it doesn't matter to me. Okay, I'm rambling at this point because I always forget how to end these videos. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Bye.